Hello,
Hey, can I speak to Ethan?
that's me.
Hey, Ethan, it's Dean from Collective Soul.
Hey, Dean, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Doing great.
Great to get you on the phone, my friend. Really excited for the show coming up here in September. Let's go ahead and get right into it here. Originally, Collective Soul was sort of a placeholder because your first album, Hints, Allegations, and Things Left Unsaid, was never supposed to be an actual album, just a demo that Ed wanted to sell for
Right.
publishing, right?
Correct, yeah. And then we ended up, we just kind of threw a little bit of the kitchen sink at it. You know, we sent it to just record labels and publishing companies, and I took it to a radio station, a college radio station at Georgia State in Atlanta, and they started playing Shine, and that was the first time it was on the radio. That's when it got some legs. It just went from there.
You know, it's always good when a song just naturally and organically gets added and the audience reacts and sort of forces the band to become bigger than they even thought they would, right?
Yeah, and you know, I remember that moment when I took them the Hints, Allegations. We thought there was another song in there that might be a single, but we just didn't even give them any guidance. And the guy there listened to it and he heard Shine, and basically he chose the single.
Sometimes radio people have a bit of an ear for songs, which is a good thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Which song did you guys think or would want to have launched back then? Which one was the one off the album that you thought was a hit?
I think at the time we were thinking it was a song called "Good Night, Good Guy," which never even became a single. It was Shine, and then I think it was one of Breathe off that record, and then we immediately wanted to get like a band record done. So that's when the Blue record came out within a year. So we basically were, as we were touring that first year, you know, on our off days, we were going into studios. We were in Chicago, we were in Reno, in Miami, just, you know, doing it when we had a chance. So we would be ready to get it out as soon as possible.
Well, you and your brother Ed have been in the band the whole time, along with Will. And did you and your brother come from a musical family, or was that just something you two took on your own?
Yeah, well, no, we did. Our father he was a Southern Baptist preacher, but before that he was the minister of music, and he was a voice major in college. So it was always music in our family. Our mother played piano in the church, and our dad sang. So.
When you go back to that first album, you know, having it been recorded, not really with the intention of it ever being released as a band album, there's a definite rawness that you can hear in those songs. And then when you get on to, like you said, your second album, where you really were recording it the way you wanted to, you could hear that experimentation with guitar sounds and effects like on Gel and, you know, White Part 2, Precious Declaration. They all had sort of almost like a synth edition or dance beats. Was that something that you guys had always wanted to do, was just sort of that funky sound with the guitars and drums?
Well, we just always have taken the approach of seeing where it leads. Once you get in the studio, you know, you can have a general idea of what you want to do, but we just start doing experimentation, and just see where the song, you know, leads, and you're trying to basically get the most out of the idea. So any kind of idea that anyone has, we take it as far as we can go, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, the mindset was we were just happy to we were in a commercial studio most of that time. So we were just kind of in a you know, our own little musical playground.
So you have a riff, and then it's basically, let's fiddle with all the knobs and see what these can do, and if something sounds cool, we roll with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and see what drum groove goes with it, or it could be vice versa, a drum groove, and then you see what kind of, you know, musical or rhythmic thing you want to put on top of it, whether it's guitar or piano, or, you know, is it a bass line you want on top, and, you know, you just build it up from the ground up, essentially.
If you could go back and redo Hints and Allegations in the way that you guys would have recorded it, is that something you do, or are you just like, you know what, it was such a moment in time, we'll just leave it as is?
I think it has to be a moment in time. It really is. I mean, and to boot, we've there's a part of me that would want to do that, because I do love some of those songs, and the production was just very, demo-esque type vibe. But the idea of not being progressive creatively is not enticing to any one of us. I mean, we love, making new music, creating new songs, new ideas, and exploration there. So there's a part, maybe a sliver of that would be kind of interesting, but I don't think so.
Maybe if you ever have one of those gigantic multi-disc retrospectives, you can go re-record 1 or 2 tracks just to see what it felt like, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, you've got the new album Vibrating out. I've made it through the first half. You guys are releasing officially releasing Cut the Cord and All Our Pieces, which are both great tracks, but I'm also really digging on Reason and Undone. The whole thing right now is definitely collective soul, but man, it's a walk down a 90s memory lane, but it's still very something fresh about it,
Well, that's cool. Yeah. Kind of like, I mean, like I said, our approach to it is like we just try to be authentic and writing lyrics that kind of fit to whatever we're going through emotionally, or whatever, thoughts or experiences that are going on at the time. And then we didn't really, it felt like we focused a little bit more on some guitar, leaning on guitars on this one. But it's, we mix it up a little bit, like on, you mentioned Undone. We put, some strings in there. It's, good. That's one of my favorite songs too, by the way.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. I was almost singing along to the chorus by the end of the very first time I listened to it. I was like, yeah, that one's going to hook in some people for sure.
Yeah.
You guys got to open for Van Halen for 3 months, basically at their peak around 95, 96. As a guitar player, did you get the opportunity to sit down with Sammy or Eddie and noodle around and learn some things?
Yeah, Eddie was in our dressing room every day. I mean, he just walked around with his guitar, so he would just come in and just hang out. And he's just sitting there playing, doing his thing. I mean, he was so sweet, so good to us. Yeah, and all of those guys, Michael. We actually just played with Sammy recently. We stayed good buddies with Sammy and Michael over the years. We just played with those guys a couple of weeks ago. So good guys, good mentors for us at that young age. All of them were.
Yeah, we just had Sammy in the circle through here, and I got to finally go back and say hi. I'm actually friends with Sammy's son, Aaron, and I'd never actually met Sammy himself until they came through, and they're just nicest guys in the world. They're great people to hang out with for sure.
Oh, yeah, dude. Super genuine, authentic people.
Right now, there is a new documentary. I haven't finished it, but I've started it, and it's on Netflix about Woodstock 99. You guys were at Woodstock 99. Have you seen the documentary yet?
I did see. I think I did see. It focused on like the chaos, right?
Right.
Yeah. I did see it. It was a dirty mess. We played there, but we played on the other stage, not the main stage at that one. And we played earlier. We got out of there and basically didn't see any of that nonsense. Thank God. I wouldn't want to, but
I was just wondering if you could have tell the vibe, if the vibe was getting already wonky, because you were playing during the day when the sun was out. It's a lot more mellow then than at night, no matter what concert you're at. So I didn't know if things were already starting to get crazy.
They may have been, but like we were so closed off from it, and like backstage and at the second stage. And then, like I said, we got there, did our shit, and scrammed.
Was that, do you remember if that was before or after the Green Day mud fight?
Oh, that was 94.
Oh, that was 94. Oh, that's right. You were 99.
Yeah, we played both of them.
Oh, okay.
94, we played. Yeah, 94, we closed on the Friday night. The next day, I think it was the next day, that's when the rain came. And it was that's when it became a big mud mess. Look, so we played Friday night, and the mud stuff was Saturday.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's a good thing you missed the madness both times there.
Yeah, I know. Thinking back on it, we dodged a couple of bad situations.
Real quick before we go, your drummer Johnny was at one point a Guinness record holder for the fastest drummer, and he broke the first one to break over 1,000 single hits in 60 seconds. Is he just that much of a madman behind the kit?
yeah, he is. But I mean, he's an amazing drummer. I mean, he kind of gets embarrassed about the speed thing a little bit, but I mean, there's some pride in it. But he's so much more than that. I mean, he's an exceptional, elite, world-class drummer. We're very fortunate to have him a part of our band.
Dean Roland, Collective Soul, out on tour with Switchfoot, going to be rolling through Florida here in September. I will be out at the show. Can't wait to see you there. Thanks for taking the time to call in, my friend. It was a great time.
Cool. Thanks, Ethan. Appreciate it.
Have a good one, buddy.
Take care.